Welcome back, boys and girls. Hopefully you brought your stuffed animal friend to keep you company like I have my teal here as we are asking and answering questions as we read. Please pause at any time you want to practice your conversation skills with your friend so that we can always make sure we understand the passage. So we're going to continue with James and the Giant Peach, looking at chapter 28 today. And again, you have a quiz that follows that will help you review chapter 24 to 28 to make sure you're understanding what you're listening to. You're welcome to always go back and re-listen as you need to. Okay, chapter 28. One by one, the travelers came out again on top of the peach and gazed carefully around. Why were they inside the peach? Do you remember what happened in chapter 27? Go ahead and pause the video and talk to your little friend to review what has happened so far. So welcome back. Hopefully you did as I asked. They're inside the peach after hiding from the Cloudmen because Centipede kind of agitated them with calling them idiots, and they started throwing hailstones. So they were hiding because it was hurting. The moon was still shining as brightly as ever, and there was still plenty of huge, shimmering cloud mountains on all sides. But there were no Cloudmen in sight now. "The peach is sinking!" Shabby old green grasshopper, peering over the side. "It's full of holes, and the juice is dripping out everywhere." "That does it!" cried the earthworm. "If the peach is leaking, then we shall surely sink." "Don't be a jerk," the centipede told him. "We're not in the water." "Oh, look," shouted Ladybug. "Look, look, look, over there." Everybody swung around to look. In the distance, and directly ahead of them, they now saw the most extraordinary sight. It was a kind of arch, a colossal, curvy-shaped thing that reached high up into the sky and came down again at both ends. The ends were resting upon a huge flat cloud that was as big as a desert. "Now what in the world is that?" asked James. "It's a bridge." "It's an enormous hoop cut in half." "It's a giant horseshoe standing upside down," they were all guessing. "Stop me if I'm wrong," muttered the centipede, going white in the face. "But might those not be Cloudmen climbing all over it?" There was a dreadful silence. The peach floated closer and closer. "They are Cloudmen! There are hundreds of them! Thousands! Millions! I don't want to hear about it!" shrieked the old, poor, blind earthworm. "I'd rather be on the end of a fish hook and use as bait than come up against those terrible creatures again." "I'd rather be fried alive and eaten by a Mexican," wailed the old green grasshopper. "Keep quiet," whispered James. "It's our only hope." They crouched very still on top of the old peach, staring at the Cloudmen. The whole surface of the cloud was literally swarming with them, and there were hundreds more up above, climbing about on the monstrous, crazy arch. "What is that thing?" whispered the ladybug. "And what are they doing to it?" "I don't care what they're doing to it," the centipede said, scuttling over the tunnel entrance. "I'm not staying up here. Goodbye." But the rest of them were too frightened or too hypnotized to the whole affair to make a move. "Do you know what?" James whispered. "What?" they said. "What?" "That enormous arch. They seem to be painting it. They got pots of paint and big brushes. Look!" And he was quite right. The travelers were close enough now to see that this is exactly what the Cloudmen were doing. They all had huge brushes in their hands. They were splashing the paint onto the great curvy arch in a frenzy of speed, so fast, in fact, that in a few minutes the whole of the arch became covered with the glorious colors of red, blues, greens, yellows, and purples. "It's a rainbow!" everyone said at once. "They're making a rainbow!" "Oh, isn't it beautiful? Just look at those colors!" "Centipede!" they shouted. "You must come up and see this!" They were so enthralled by the beauty and brilliance of the rainbow that they forgot to keep their voices low. The centipede poked his head cautiously out the tunnel entrance. "Well, well, well," he said. "I've always wondered how those things were made, but why the ropes?" "What are they doing with the ropes?" "Good heavens! They're pushing it off the cloud," cried James. "There it goes! They're lowering it down to the earth with ropes. And I'll tell you something else. the centipede said sharply. If I'm not greatly mistaken, we ourselves are going to bump right into it. Bless my soul, he's right, said the old green grasshopper. The rainbow was now dangling in the air below the cloud. The peach was also just below the level of the cloud, and it was heading directly towards the rainbow, traveling rather fast. We are lost, cried Miss Spider, wringing her feet again. The end has come. I can't stand it, wailed the earthworm. Tell me what's happening. We're going to miss it, shouted the ladybug. No, we're not. Yes, we are. Yes, no, yes, no. Oh, my heavens. Hold on, everyone, James called out. Ooh, look at that picture. Turn to your stuffed animal friend and make a prediction. What do you think is going to happen with that peach and the rainbow? Make a prediction. Hold on, everyone, James called out. And suddenly, there was a tremendous thud as the peach went crashing to the top of the rainbow. This was followed by an awful splintering noise as the enormous rainbow snapped right across the middle and became two separate pieces. Is that what you guessed? The next thing that happened was extremely unfortunate. The ropes the Cloudmen were using for lowering the rainbow got tangled up with the silk strings that went up from the peach to the seagulls. The peach was trapped. Panic and pandemonium broke out among the travelers, and James Henry Trotter, glancing up quickly, saw the faces of 1,000 furious cloudmen peering down at him over the edge of the clouds. The faces had also no shape at all because of the thin white hairs that covered them. There were no noses, no mouths, no ears, no chins. Only the eyes were visible in each face. Two small black eyes, glittering maliciously through their hairs. Then came the most frightening thing of all. One cloudman, a huge hairy creature who must have been 14 feet tall at least, suddenly stood up and made a tremendous leap off the side of the cloud, trying to get to one of the silk strings above the peach. James and his friends saw him go flying through the air above him, his arms outstretched in front of him, reaching for the nearest string, and they saw him grab it and cling to it with his hands and legs, and then very, very slowly, hand over hand, began coming down the string. Mercy, help us, save us, cried the ladybug. He's coming down to eat us, wailed the old green grasshopper. Jump overboard. Then eat the earthworm first, shouted the centipede. It's no good eating me. I'm full of bones like a kipper. Centipede, yelled James. Quickly, bite through the string, the one he's coming down on. The centipede rushed over to the stem of the peach and took the silk string in his teeth and bit through it with one snap of his jaw. Immediately, far above them, a single seagull was seen to come away from the rest of the flock and go flying off with a long string trailing from its neck. And clinging desperately to the end of the string, shouting and cursing with fury, was a huge hairy cloudman. Up and up he went, swinging across the moonlit sky, and James Henry Trotter, watching with delight, said, My goodness, he must weigh nothing at all for one seagull to pull him up like that. He must be all hair and air. The rest of the cloudmen were so flabbergasted at seeing one of their company carried away in this manner that they let go of the ropes they were holding, and then, of course, down went the rainbow, both halves of it, trembling towards the earth below. This freed the peach, which at once began sailing away from the terrible cloud. But the travelers were not in the clear yet. The infuriated cloudman jumped up and ran after them along the cloud, pelting them mercilessly with all sorts of hard and horrible objects. Empty paint buckets, paint brushes, step ladders, stools, saucepans, frying pans, rotten eggs, dead rats, bottles of hair oil, and anything those brutes could lay their hands on came raining down upon the peach. One cloudman, taking very careful aim, tipped a gallon of thick purple paint over the edge of the cloud right onto the centipede himself. The centipede screamed, Ah! My legs, he cried. They're all sticking together. I can't walk. And my eyelids won't open. I can't see. My boots are ruined. But for that moment, everyone was far too busy dodging the things the cloud men were throwing to pay any attention to the centipede. The paint's drying, he moaned. It's getting hard. I can't move my legs. I can't move anything. You can move your mouth, the earthworm said, and that's a great pity. James, bawled the centipede, please help me. Wash off this paint. Scrape it off. Anything. And that is the end of chapter 28. So on your Google Classroom platform, you have a quiz that's going to go from chapter 24 to 28. Please feel free to go back and re-watch any of the videos to make sure you understand what the story is about. Take your time, work hard, because it is going to be a grade. I miss you. You can always talk to your stuffed animal friend as you review the passage before you take the quiz. Good luck.